What number you got there?
Pop 3 up to just in case.
Hello out there in Radio Land, and thank you for tuning into The Divide on WRFZ 106.3 Rochester Free Radio. You are listening to The Divide with Marcus C. Williams, and
Brian McKenzie.
if you guys are tuning into us online, please make sure that you hit the like button, share, and if you're not already following or subscribed, definitely follow and subscribe. You got to hit those like buttons right now. Oh, the heart buttons? I'd love to see lots of thumbs going all the way up, you know, and all the hearts and everything.
Last week I had a bunch of them in my live feed.
Oh man, no, did it? Oh
yeah,
boy.
This time I got a charger, so
there we go. Let's hope that works out well. Well, we've got a great show in store for you guys. Now, here on The Divide, we like to talk about many things, whether they're political, whether they're business, whether they're local, or whether they're international. Right now, we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on in the country and across the world. But did you guys see the other day, they tried to kill Trump again?
Another third assassination attempt, they're saying.
Like, we don't
the
even...
guys say, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't even like to have to talk about the presidential election because I think that that's a distraction from the local level election.
And people can see it on Fox News all night long.
Yeah. But I mean, what happened when I saw this issue was the sheriff arrested this guy. So apparently he gave them some sort of a fake name. They still don't know what his real name is. So he had a car with fake license plates, multiple fake passports, and he had a handgun that was loaded and a shotgun that was loaded and multiple boxes and rounds of ammunition.
Yeah, I thought he had 3 guns. Maybe it was 2. I don't know.
Well, I heard that it was 2. That was what the sheriff said.
Yeah.
But they said afterward that there were multiple boxes of ammunition.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Is there was multiple boxes of ammunition.
But my question is, why are you bringing all of that into an area that you know is going to be a secure area?
Right, and he claims he's a Trump supporter. You know,
a lie.
I was a Democrat, but now I'm a Trump supporter. He said.
Listen, I could say I was a butterfly, and now I'm a human. I mean, don't people say that all the time? A boy can be a girl, and a girl can be a boy.
I could say I once was ugly.
Listen, I want to be like I once was Marcus, and now I'm the head Rothschild.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Does that work? Can I get access to the bank accounts right now?
Really? I mean, say whatever you want. As long as you don't change your race, you're good. They don't allow that yet. They don't allow that yet, Marcus.
Oh man,
you can't change it, Marcus. I'm sorry.
Dang it. See, I was gonna be like, oh, I identify as an Asian female, you know.
That's what I would go with. Then you won't be allowed in Harvard anymore because they try to keep you out.
Dang it. You know, but it's very interesting that we see that California let the guy loose.
Yeah, that's insane. And they said what, $5,000, which we were just talking about, could be, you know, really.
They said $5,000 bill. So if he did a bond, that's only $500.
I mean, that's nothing. I mean, that's almost pocket change. He's walking out, and it's insane to me that I mean, they do not know the full story. That's the bottom line. They don't know the extent of it. They don't know if what he's saying is right or if what looks to be real is real. So why would you let someone out? Why would the feds not step in and charge him with some federal crimes and keep him in there?
According to the sheriff, they said that they're working with the Secret Service to make sure that they follow up with him so that he comes back to court. You know,
so
it doesn't disappear into the wind.
No ankle monitor or nothing.
Just the guy with multiple passports with different names is not a flight risk.
No,
I mean, so this goes back. For me, this goes back to bail reform, right?
Yes, exactly.
So this goes back to that same concept because they got it in California, right? So you know how strict, everybody knows how strict California has their gun laws, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they got these strict gun laws and they let this guy go. Come on now, stop playing in my face.
No, it goes back to what bail reform is meant. Even with bail reform, what bail was meant to do. It was meant to ensure people show up to court. It was then meant to make sure flight risks show up to court. So
if
he's not a flight risk, I don't know who is.
Man, listen, I guess nobody is. Remember when they tried to say, and I don't like to have to talk about the presidential election, but you remember they said that Trump was the flight risk?
Exactly. They were going to they wanted to give him no bail, no release.
Where's he going? He's running for president.
Running was going to fly around the skies, just not land.
You know, I'm trying to tell you.
Be refueled by one of those big jets, come down.
Listen, I don't think this is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, you're right. I mean, they wanted to say Trump was a flight risk, but this guy who could ultimately face charges that put him in jail for a long, long time.
Yes, sir.
And he's not a flight risk.
Drink water, stay hydrated, people. But yeah, no, it's crazy.
Today I got a slushie. I had this word.
A slushie?
Yeah,
you needed some extra
stopped
sugar?
at one of the gas stations on the way there. I need a little sugar.
I see.
I was stressing out. I'm like, come on, I got some sugar.
Man, listen. And you guys, if you guys are stressing out, make sure that you have a second and take a second to pray, because let the Lord into your heart so that he can help guide you into better places. And I think that as we talk about the Lord, we need to talk about the necessity for prayer in our country right now with everything that's going on. We see what's going on. And everything, I know for a lot of people, it looks dark. It looks bleak, right? But as people of faith, as people of belief, believers like me are working ardently to stand up and be that light in the darkness. We see it too. Everything's crazy and out of control.
If you just look at social, especially social media, if you look at
social media is terrible.
You are constantly bombarded with just terror and just destruction and what's gonna I guess that's why I have social media. I try to post a lot of stuff that talks about how we're going to move out of this, with the hopeful outcomes we're going to get in the election. But ultimately, and that moves it on to not just prayer, but to voting. Voting's coming up, and you got to vote.
So now this is where it goes into, because you can pray, but you must also act. You must take action as well. You can't just ask.
You got to ask for the strength to do something, but you got to ultimately do it. It's you doing it. So yes.
So it's crazy. Like you said, all of the crazy negative stuff on the internet and stuff. There's this guy, his name is Seven of Sky. Okay, it looks like Savinovsky.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's called Seven of Sky. He's got this song, it's called FYP. And in the song, he says porn is on the FYP, on the For You page.
Yes.
Okay. That's all that it is. He's saying that not just porn like pornographic, sexually explicit stuff, but he's talking about war porn, fear porn, all of this stuff. And that's what they're trying to push on you to consume, so that you feel hopeless and full of despair every single day. You know why they do that, Brian?
They want you leaving your house personally. They're hoping you stay home and they don't want you doing stuff. They don't want you taking action.
There was this villain. I don't know how to sound. There's this villain in this cartoon. Maybe it was an anime. I'm not sure where it was made, but the villain said, it's easy to take people's meager possessions when you fill them full of terror. I said, oh man, is that not what's happening right now?
Why do they call terrorists? Because they try to. They're not just trying to kill. They try to kill people, but they want to inflict terror upon the rest of the population.
That's right.
That's the real outcome. That's the real desired outcome of a terrorist, of 9/11. It was to shatter everybody in this country and to keep them from going to work, from being fearful of going anywhere. They don't want that. That's what terrorists do. That's terror.
Well, our government is the biggest terrorist. I said what I said. I've said it before. And see, you guys, I'm not very concerned, because I'm sure that at some point that if we don't stand up, that the trains are coming. People say, well, what's that mean? Yeah, they're going to bring train cars on to force people on to snatch them up and end up executing them or putting them in internment camp. This is a history of our own nation. Like they did that with the Japanese here in America. They did it with the Germans here in America. This is real
the
stuff
left is trying to throw this at us. Like that's the exact terminology they're using to make it seem like the right is that he's gonna deport illegals. He's gonna deport you too. How do you even come to that conclusion?
Right.
It's insane, but they are putting it out there.
Yep.
And then you saw, we don't talk a lot about the national election, but Trump having the rally at Madison Square Garden coming up, right? The state senator from that area in Manhattan goes on Twitter and says, I confirmed with Madison Square Garden that Trump will be here. I am trying to convince them to not allow this, as it's reminiscent of a 1939 Madison Square Garden Nazi rally that caused explicit violence. And
that didn't happen. So let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. So listen to what he said. There was a rally there. There was a rally for Nazis and stuff like that. And that's a daggone shame. Don't get me started, because you know how I feel about socialists. Okay, and the Nazis are the National Socialist Workers Party. I don't mess with none of them. Okay, not a lick of none of them. Okay, I got a lot to say about the Nazis and a lot of what they've done and stuff like that historically. But the fact of the matter is that while they were in concept bad people, yes,
Yes, I think we'll all agree with that.
I think everybody would agree with that. When we get down to the brass tacks of that particular rally, there was no mass violence and stuff.
No, there was no violence. There was no.
So there was nothing. There was nothing that didn't happen.
No.
So when you say something like that, I need you to bring the facts. Is it reminiscent of a Nazi rally? Is that what you want to say?
That's what you want to relate it to?
That's what you want to relate it to, but don't add extra stuff that didn't happen.
Well, not only that, but this is the same party that is not allowing you to know about during that wartime, during the World War II time. We had the same people that are on college campuses right now, doing the same thing. That was happening back then too. They don't tell you that, but it was the same party. That was the Democratic Party. They had people on college campuses. Pro-Germany, they call it pro-Germany.
What are they calling themselves now? Socialists, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, Socialist Party of America. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the Nazis? National Socialist Party.
Of course. Yep.
So it's no different.
No different.
And the problem is that they've cultivated this concept in people's minds where they don't know what actual Nazis were, what they were about, or anything.
No, they call Trump a Nazi, but they can't explain why he's a Nazi.
They try to hide all of the information and all of the speeches that they gave, that Hitler gave, that Goebbels gave, that all of the other people
because it relates to their party.
It's almost word for word. If you listen to those speeches,
platform.
It's word for word what the Democrat Party is saying. I watched Kamala Harris rally, and I'm like, I know good and daggone well that Goebbels said that stuff.
Right? It's literally they will not tell you.
Say
yeah, they will not tell you what it said because you're right. It's when that party took over before all the
talk about
concentration camps and everything.
And he was a Nazi too.
Exactly. but when they would get up there and talk about their platform, it literally directly relates to the current Democratic platform, especially the progressive Democratic platform.
Yes,
if you take Harris's words from what she said 4 years ago, every one of those different statements that she claims to not agree with now, it's literally right on the Nazi playbook.
You can take her words from last week.
It's still on it. Yeah, it's still there.
And this is so for you guys who support Kamala Harris or whatever. This isn't me slamming Kamala or anything, because I could definitely be able to do that, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm pointing out facts that are real, that are things that we can't even talk about because people don't want to have that conversation, or they don't have the information to back up that conversation. They have these preconceived notions because of what they've been told. And this is a very serious conversation in our country, because what happens is people get stuck in these silos and they get stuck in these echo chambers, and they don't want to hear anything outside.
Using the word fascist, they don't even know what it means, and they're calling everybody a fascist. Elon Musk is a fascist. Fascist. Trump's a fascist. What is a fascist? Oh, I don't know what fascist.
Well, listen. I haven't seen none of these anti-fascist protests about them checking IDs to get into neighborhoods in the city of Rochester.
No, you won't.
But I saw them burn down my neighborhoods and communities here. We're all the anti-fascists. This is legit fascism. Okay, they threw an edict, ruled that they're going to bar off parts of the city and only let people in when they check IDs. If that's not reminiscent of Nazi Germany and fascism, okay, or fascist Italy, I don't know what to tell you.
And it's a part that's not even the part. If they're going to do that, that shouldn't be that part. I mean, it's insane to think about. Like you said, not just 4 years ago, we truly have these people calling themselves Antifa, anti-fascists, literally burning down these, the rib place that had been there, how many years that somebody worked their whole life to save up to build. I mean, your businesses just burned to the ground, left and right.
It's crazy to me that all of these people that are so happy-go-lucky, these white people from the suburbs that are all identify as anti-fascist and Black Lives Matter type of people, came and burnt down and looted the black neighborhoods.
Yeah, then bounced.
They didn't do that in the white neighborhoods.
Did they help rebuild them, by the way?
No, they didn't help rebuild them. But why?
Yeah, why not burn down Pittsburgh?
Right now, burn down Penfield. What happened? I mean, why not Victor? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, this
go to Pittsburgh Plaza.
This just shows that what they're saying, they don't actually mean.
No, absolutely not.
And it goes into another whole separate topic, but very similar, where we've got these people that they'll just say whatever. And they don't mean it. They just think that it sounds good at the time or whatever. I look at this stuff with these people. Now you got Macklemore talking about F America and stuff like
capitalism.
that.
Dude, how'd you make your $20 million?
Right.
Yeah, how'd you make that?
but this is, and people will say that here in America, get out.
Go.
Oh, bye.
Go.
Nobody's holding you here.
I said that last night on Facebook. I posted. I was like, listen, if you're gonna yell at me for saying Happy Columbus Day, listen, here you go. I'm going to buy you a ticket one way to the first spot you can tell me that wasn't, stolen land in the world. I was like, so let me know where it is, though.
So here's the issue, right? People like that, they're a very, very serious problem. So I'm as a conservative, as a Christian, as a Republican, okay, as an American. So those are the brackets that I would say that I'm in there some way about. Okay. I saw this one. I'm not going to point out the names because I'm not trying to hit on nobody today, but I do want to bring up it. So they were like, oh, Indigenous People Day is not right, or whatever the case is, or whatever. It's Columbus Day, whatever. I have little concern on the issue either way. Okay, I just want the banks to open and businesses to be open. That's all I want. You call it Blue Clues Monday. I don't care. Just open.
I get a day off of work.
I'm glad that people get a day off of work, but I need stuff to be open. It's Monday.
Yeah, so this morning I'm like, no, the bank's not open. I'm like, damn it.
I know,
right? It's like, oh man.
So they already got bankers hours. But anyway, but no, they said, how can I say it? I'm trying to not give away who it was. But they were going on about how, oh no, it's Columbus Day, whatever. And they were like, oh, well, the people over here were uncivilized and they didn't have anything. And they were basically barbarians and uncivilized people before the Europeans came. And I said, hold up now. That's not true.
Did you just hear this? Like a half an hour ago?
I just heard this.
I heard this like a half hour ago.
Yeah, I'm so like, I meant to write the person and I'm like, I ain't even got time. I got to go do this radio show. So and it's frustrating because then they were like, and they didn't even have any roads until the Europeans came. Are you daft? Do you not know the history of America? Did you just say that they didn't have roads? Like, are you serious? Like here in America, they had cities in America proper, United States of America, bigger than every European city over there. They have bigger cities in Mesoamerica. I think that includes Mexico and stuff like that. All of that stuff. Okay, they have bigger cities than all of Europe. Like, what are you talking about? No roads. They are still finding roads in giant cities now. Okay, like, are you kidding me? They said that they now recognize that the population of Tenochtitlan, okay, wasn't like a million people. Like, it was like probably the way that it was sprawling, like 8 to 19 million people.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't even know how to count like that. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, I can't even conceptualize that in, like, I'm thinking rocks and bricks and stuff like that. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's a huge thing. But we look at all of the places, and I'm going to use, because they've hidden a lot of our American.
You got to think of North America as a whole. You know what I mean? When you're thinking of that.
Well, because the Smithsonian, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The Smithsonian, you dirty dogs. I called you what you are, hiding American history and taking it and stealing it and all types of stuff like that. Me and the Smithsonian got beef because that's American history, American heritage. I got beef with them. We can't even have giants because they say that we didn't have any giants, because they take all the, when anybody find giant bones, they take them all. But everywhere else in every other country, they got giant bones on display.
They have a display. They have them display in France right now. They have them display in Egypt.
Everywhere. But in America, you can't have that.
You see a femur, it's like this big. It's crazy.
And it's crazy to me because up until we had now we're getting somewhere, right? Up until we had Abraham Lincoln, even Abraham Lincoln talked about the giants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you look at his work, he actually literally says those words. Talks right about it. Talks about big people and all that stuff. So he wasn't talking about himself.
Right. So then at that time, then you get all of these other different little people starting to rip away the history of our stuff with the Rockefellers and everything right around that time. The Smithsonian
globalization, all trying to change all that stuff.
Because that would better suit the people in power.
Of course.
So when she said this narrative where they didn't have roads, like, I'm like, in North America, in the United States proper, there were massive roads and trade routes and stuff like that.
There was too. Look at that.
In Mexico, they were even. We know that they were even more pronounced because in America we just destroyed everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there they still got it, you know. So that's something. But this is the problem. Again, this goes back to the silos. So this is me talking about somebody that I guess considers themselves Republican, conservative-ish. You know. So this is somebody from there, but we just talked about the other ones on the left. So again, this shows that we can't have this where we've got this divide.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Because there's a lot of crossover.
Nobody wants to listen to anybody because they know so much. What was it? Reagan or Nixon? Nixon. I think it was Nixon. If you guys know the quote, who the quote's by, remind me, because I forget. Sometimes I mix up the quotes by the two, whoever's name it is. But the quote goes, talking about the Democrats, I think it was Reagan. I'm pretty sure it's Reagan. Our Democrat friends.
Yeah, it is. I already know you.
Our Democrat friends that know so much that isn't so.
Yeah, it's Reagan. Yep.
So but that's a thing. People know so much that isn't so. Yep. And they will fight you to the death over something that is not true at all.
Correct. Yep.
And they won't even
and they won't accept facts. They won't accept proof. They won't accept nothing for it.
But you got to trust the science.
Yeah, trust. Oh yeah, when it fits their narrative. Yeah,
that's it. If you guys are watching us right now online, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. Take 2 seconds. Hit the button, like, heart, and hit that share button. Smash that share button right now. I want to see like 20 shares. Go ahead. I see you guys watching. Hit the share button and let people know that we got some real conversations going on here that you really don't find anywhere else. Okay. Let me get my dial-on on for a moment. Okay. We got the greatest radio show hosts alive right here. We got Marcus, and Marcus. Okay. The greatest radio show host. If you guys, if that's for anybody that doesn't know the dial-on thing, go back and check out dial-on when they had those raps. Brian is over here throwing the other camera as we speak, but I make that and I make that joke, but I'm serious. We do talk about a lot of stuff that they don't talk about a lot of other places. So definitely get out and share this. Hey Brian, I wanted to go do a thing on the TV the other day on the news. So they were like, "Oh, you've only got 2 minutes to do this little spot for the news, and we've only got one shot." And I was like, "One shot like Calculon." And it landed flat. They didn't know what I was talking about. I swear to goodness, I had that loaded up for my whole life. If you guys watch Futurama, that's the Calculon is from Futurama. Yep. So go check that out. One shot just like Calculon. Anyway, but here's the deal. When it comes to where we are right now in America, if you identify as an American citizen, not everybody does, okay, and you can get out my country, okay? If you don't believe that you're an American, that's fine. But if you want to be in America and you don't want to be an American, you can get out. I stand by that. I don't mean it in an offensive way. I mean that we have so many issues and problems inside our own country that we need to address those issues, especially if you don't know English and don't want to learn English. And people say, "Oh, well, Marcus, how can you say that?" Let me tell you how I say that. Because do you remember the book in the Bible when it talked about the Tower of Babel and what happened when the people couldn't communicate and stuff like that? Hello. Like that's the collapse of society. That's the collapse of civilization. So now they're bringing in all of these people from all across the world. They're not even teaching them English. No. They're
issuing driver's licenses, just letting them roll right out.
So they're not able to learn the language. They don't know the language. They don't know the culture. They don't want to.
And it's hurting other kids in classes too. When you're talking about kids in school, it's crushing them. I mean,
man, you know how much money goes to these people. You want to call them English as a second language people, but they're not even English as a second language because many of them are barely even being taught any English. Correct. They're learning in the languages that they come in with. What does that mean for our future?
Yeah, they're bringing in teachers that speak that language, and they're just rolling with that. So so basically, they're graduating with no English. They're deficient in English, and they're just going to let them roll out into society like that.
So what does that do with our society? Again, like the Tower of Babel, it's going to collapse because people aren't going to be able to communicate with each other.
But if you say the word replacement, they will absolutely tackle you on every level.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If you consider yourself a conservative, or if you consider yourself a Christian, I'm not saying both, I'm saying either or, okay? If you consider yourself a Christian or a conservative, or both, okay? Take your child and homeschool them if you can.
Right.
Or if you can't, put them in a charter or a private school, but even the charter schools don't do any religion. You can't pray. Why are you letting the enemy teach your children? Malcolm X said that. Don't let the enemy teach your children.
In public schools, when it's funded by the government, it's going to teach what the government wants to teach you. So it's an indoctrination station from kindergarten all the way now through college. Again, I told my nephew who's going to a local college, but I was like, he had to take this class, and he's majoring in kinesiology, right? So I don't understand why he's take this class. It's called race and ethnic studies or something, and he went in, and he's a conservative, and the teacher is so far liberal, so far, I don't want to say liberal, I want to say progressive,
right?
And he had to write a paper. Now he's going to be an officer, he's going to be a cop, and he had to write a paper talking about how bad police were in order to get an A, or she was going to fail him. I said, I would have taken that straight to the dean. But he's like, well, the dean, is liberal. I'm like, wow. I said, I would have taken that straight to a transfer to a Christian school or a conservative school. But it's insane to think that you have to bend the knee in order to get, and in his mind, he's only 19 years old. What's he thinking? He's not like, he's not 46 where he's going to say, all right, I'm going to take a stance here. No, he doesn't. He's too young. He doesn't know. He thinks I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose my, place in the school. Right. I'm not going to be here anymore. So he bends his knee, and I understand that to an extent, but it's like,
well, but didn't that happen with COVID?
He had to do that too.
Weren't they calling and informing on their neighbors?
Yes.
For having too many people over for Thanksgiving dinner.
And he had to get the shot in order to go to the school. So
listen, let me tell you something. You know what's wrong with this country right now is we have encouraged males to be weak.
Oh my God, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. I literally had that written down to talk about today. I posted that on my Facebook today. I was talking about how that word of toxic masculinity. I said, you know what? I said, throw a like and a share here if you're proud of your toxic masculinity, because I sure as hell am. You know what? If you'd rather have that low testosterone, if you'd rather have that low testosterone and that, I'm just going to be a beta male my whole life and do this and that, and in that type of, if you have that type of attitude, it seems to lean towards the left. When you have an attitude of, I'm not saying you have to be out there chugging beers and, doing this and that. I'm talking about true masculinity, where you step up as a man and do what a man is supposed to do in this society. And there's a place where, those where women do the same exact thing. Nobody's going to bash them. So why are they bashing men for doing what men are supposed to do?
Wait. Hold up. I have to give you a little bit of pushback. Yeah, they do that to women too, because if women want to have babies,
true. Yes, no. You're right. Yeah, Harrison Buckner right there.
You shouldn't be having a baby. How dare you?
How dare you?
The man oppress you by making you have a baby, and don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, because if you say, no, you want to raise your children and rear them up,
and that's what Harrison Buckner was saying when they bashed him about it. He was saying, listen, I am not saying your choice is your choice. I chose not to have kids. You know what? Guess what? I chose not to, and I'm happy about that. And you know what? And if a woman is in the same spot as me, and say that, good for her if that was her choice. But if she chose to have them and stay at home with those kids, so be it. That is her choice. There's no reason, for her to fall in a second spot in society amongst women because she made that choice, and that's what they push.
Listen, I'd be a stay-at-home dad if I could.
I would too.
Listen, don't play with me.
I'd be a stay-at-home no dad. I'd be a stay-at-home uncle.
Listen, I'd be raising the most what would you say? The most discerning. Athletic,
your kid would already be on the radio. Like, listen, this is Marcus's son.
Listen, we'd be raising super soldiers, right? They'd be like,
Yeah, my kid would be on a weight training program.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, he'd be in the basement lifting weights.
I saw this guy.
Placement therapy, everything.
I saw this guy I saw 2 videos online. So this family, they're a family of gymnasts. So they put their small children on the rings that you pull up and stuff like that on, and they put them on there when they were a couple months old.
Yeah, they had above the bed, right?
And they've been doing it and getting better and better. Now they're 5, and I mean, man, they look like they going to the Olympics,
right?
But they might be going to the Olympics.
They might be going to the Olympics.
So, and then I saw another video where this guy had his son was running on the treadmill, right? So he's another athletic type of guy. Yep. So his younger son had to be 3 or 4, was running on the treadmill, right? And the little one that was just starting to, learn to walk wanted to get on there too.
Yeah.
So he put him on there. He was holding him, and then he was running as he was getting put on there. And he was and so happy about it too. You know,
absolutely,
because it's about how you bring up your children.
Exactly.
And in America right now, we've brought up weak children. We've told them everybody gets a trophy.
Exactly. I put that on there too.
We told them live in your emotions.
Right. You can't play
it's
dodgeball.
All about your emotions.
Because there's winners and losers in that.
Listen, let me tell you right now. Let me get real close to the microphone and look directly into the camera. Okay. It is not all about your emotions.
It isn't about your emotions.
It's not about your emotions. It's never about your emotions. And if you are sticking in your emotions, you are doing a disservice to yourself and society. Because emotionality is not critical thinking. It's not critical analysis. That is your feeling. That is your heart. That is what the Bible says. Is not your heart is not discerning. Your heart is evil and wicked above all else. Okay, because that is the flesh that is trying to lead you away from the appropriate and proper direction. We have a history right now, recent history, I mean, in the United States, with so many young men that have been raised up by single mothers.
Oh my God!
So now all these young men are all emotional creatures because they've been raised by women, and women tend to be emotional.
Of course, yes, yep.
Well, but that's what they're there for, right?
Exactly. That's not a bad thing.
That's their add to society.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's not a bad thing at all. But
they're like, but they're like, well, we want men to be in touch with their emotions and all of this and all of that. First of all, you don't want that.
Did you see the new the Man Up ad for Harris?
Oh, I saw that
today.
Listen, that is so.
I'm in touch with my emotions. I'm like, you're in touch with nothing.
That is so sissified, and I know somebody's gonna feel some type of way about that. But that's the most emasculating thing that
my dad and I were cracking up. My dad was like, "Is this for real?" I was like, "No, this is real." He's like, he thought it was maybe an SNL skit or something.
Yeah,
but I was like, "No, this is a real thing." We were dying laughing.
It's terrifying.
And I mean, the one he's like, I got a man bun. He's like, I'm in touch with my feeling, and I can communicate with women. I'm like, what does that even mean? I can communicate with women too. I'm fine. I can communicate with women, no problem.
Well, but see, here's the thing: if you talk to a woman, women don't care about your feelings. No, I see you online and on the radio trying to be woke. Women do care about men's feelings. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay, and because if you do, as a man, women will see that as a sign of weakness. They will hold it against you for the rest of your life. Okay, for the rest of your life. 20 years later, they will bring that up. Okay, they're good at that. They got long memory.
No, they're really good.
Like
that's
right.
Okay,
it's like
you show that, you better bounce quick.
But that is a reason. And if they do studies on these things, right? So they do all of those sex studies and intimacy studies and stuff like that. They show that if females see or sense that a man is weak or vulnerable or whatever, they are less attracted to them.
Correct.
So that I was telling
this girl, I was the other day, we're talking and we're driving, and I'm like most liberal women end up being attracted to a conservative guy. And I'm like, because it's the way they act. It's the way people act. And I'm not saying conservatives are out there just like muscle bound. I'm just saying the fact that you're not listening. Today I'm sad. Today I'm depressed. Today I'm like, you can be sad and depressed, but you don't have to tell your woman that all the time. It's not something that resonates with women. They can tell men they're feeling. I'll listen to it, but
somebody gonna get mad. I'm gonna tell you this: if you are a man, don't tell nobody your feelings and keep your business out of everybody else's ears. That's my advice to all men, young, old, all of it. And an old man will tell you the same stuff because they know, they've experienced it. Keep your business isn't for everybody else's business, and your emotions are for yourself.
Yeah, you get if you're depressed, if you're getting welfare checks and shit like that, like. Don't tell your girlfriend that, hey, I got this and that, because guess what? They're probably not gonna be your girlfriend for too long. It just doesn't work out.
Well, see, here's the thing. What we've had happen in America is they've eroded the roles of what the difference between a man and a woman is.
Absolutely, they blurred it so much. It's ridiculous.
So long, and this really started about World War I, World War II. It's funny that the second that they tried to start to do fractional reserve banking with the Federal Reserve, they tried to push women into the workforce. No, that's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
not at all. Then that's a yes we can type of thing. Rosie the Riveter and stuff like that. So we can't talk about that, right?
Yep.
And then they started at the same time. They started pushing more schools and public schooling and stuff like that. At the same time, it's interesting, So now that the teachers have become more and more of the parents. Okay, because they're our kids. They're our kids. They're not your kids.
The society's kids is society's kids. Yes.
It's crazy. It's insane. So they're stealing the parents' parentingness, you know, and it's crazy what we see because as they push the women out of the home.
Yep.
And so there's no one to
70% in the city of male boys are being raised without a father.
So, but that's a whole nother separate problem, right?
Yeah, and that leads to a lot of other problems.
Because these people now this goes up to now we jump up to the 70s. So I want to cover some other stuff there.
Yeah.
But you jump real quick to the 70s.
Past the welfare.
So, but that goes but that goes to the 70s where they started to be like, oh well, you don't need a man or anything like that.
Even getting rewarded financially for not having a man in the house.
Bingo. There you go.
Correct.
The Great Society Project.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yes.
You know,
Lyndon B. Johnson?
Yep, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Correct.
Okay, the most racist president outside of Andrew Jackson. Okay, again, both Andrew Jackson and Lyndon B. Johnson
resegregated everybody.
He made it so bad. That's a whole separate episode. That's like that's like an 8-episode long conversation. So, but with them doing that, you know, they said, oh well, women don't need men; they can do it all on their own. Women that don't have men, my question to you is, are you struggling? Or are you perfectly fantastic?
And I'm sure there are some that are perfectly good, but...
Well, no. I'm going to push back on that. Yes, you're right. But no, in society right now, it is a very serious cost impediment if you are a single individual.
Yes.
And you do not have 2 household incomes coming
Correct. You're absolutely right with that.
And it also makes you wonder, why is it like that now?
You used to be able. You can't. If you don't have a double income and good double income, you can't afford. You can't go buy a house right now. Not a shot in hell. And I posted another thing on social media the other day. It said, and the first 2 lines were, "Men need women. Women need men." It's just. I mean, it was like, so cut the nonsense. You know, it's stop saying, "Oh, you don't need this. You don't need that." And it comes down to going back to the father thing. Yeah, I saw this clip on YouTube. It was awesome. And it's
girls need fathers too. That's very important.
But it was this little boy. And his mom's in the background. You can see all flustered. And the father comes through. Right? It's a real clip. The father, he's looking at his son. He's like, you said that to her. I don't know what he said, but it didn't. It started after that. But he said, you said that to her. Say that to me, big man. He's like, you want to be a big man? Say it. And this kid's like looking up, like,
oh, the little kid.
Yeah,
I know what you're
like the reason you need fathers in the house.
He had cursed at her.
Yes, he had cursed at his mother. And that father just was like, say it. He's like, say that to me. He's like, say it to me. Kid was like, It's that's the reason. And literally the title was The Reason We Need Fathers in the House.
So if you guys are watching right now, I want to encourage you, take a moment, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Okay, hit subscribe. I want to see the likes light up. I want to see the hearts light up, and definitely share on your page, share on your friends' page, share in your groups, share wherever. And I want to thank everybody that's listening to us. We are here from 2:30 to 4 p.m. every Monday on WRFZ 106.3 Rochester Free Radio.
And if you really like us, call or email 106.3 and tell them you want us to have more time.
That's right.
Or whatever. You know, call. Say, listen, there's this one show, The Divide, on Mondays at 2:30 to 4.
Yep.
We'd like them to have either a longer spot or another day. Let them know, because they need to hear from you if whether or not, I mean, seem to be pretty popular. So let's keep it rolling and try to get us another day, more time.
And tell everybody that you know to tune into the show on Monday. Okay? Tell your friends, tell your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces.
Single guys.
Listen, look, your friends, your enemies, your frenemies, okay? All of them. Tell them tune in. There's this great show where these guys talk about this.
Send it all, everything. Send it all.
Exactly. You know? So now, but as we go in this important conversation, and I guess we somehow got into gender roles, but it's not really about gender roles, right?
No.
It's about a cohesive society, right?
Yes, and that's exactly what it's about.
If we want a cohesive society, we need men to be men and we need women to be women. But right now they're trying to tell you that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. Okay, I don't care how you identify or who you see.
I don't care either. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. That's on you.
That's your own thing, okay? That's between you, your partner, and the Lord.
But stop pushing it as a social issue.
I wasn't even going to go there as a social issue. I'm taking it in a different direction, but go on.
Now, when you're pushing it as a social issue and you're pushing it as something other than a personal issue, you start to make it into something that trends amongst kids. Now, you know, when I was younger, it was like, I mean, I don't want to go
going in a different direction.
We're only going to go here. We're not going to get on this too long. But because I'm seeing it in too many schools where, you know, when I was younger, say, the fitted hat, fitted hat became popular. Everyone was wearing a fitted hat. And it's like, all of a sudden, when people start to, an in crowd starts to encourage something, and outside government or media starts to encourage something, it becomes a popularity contest. But it's no longer cool when you start to introduce hormones and things like that can really hurt someone who's not, well, anybody in general, but especially someone who's truly not doing that. They're doing it for the wrong reason.
Well, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry,
it is.
And it's growing more and more. So we could talk about that. We'll talk about that on next week's
show. We got a big show with that one. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, however, though, the conversation was about gender roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of everybody being their own gender, because each gender has a place in the familial part of society.
Yeah.
Okay. Women, especially young women, need healthy male role models. They do.
Of course.
But women have a difficulty raising young men to be healthy male role models.
After the age of 5,
because they're women. Women don't know how to be men.
It's not like they're not doing their best. It's not like they're not doing their best.
I don't know how to be a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if I had a daughter, she'd be lifting weights.
Right. That's what I was saying. Listen,
I don't know, man. I might have to. No, she definitely wouldn't be going out with guys. That's for sure. I don't know.
Listen, you get
or girls. But
look, I'm honestly kind of starting to wonder, should we go back to betrothment and stuff like that? No, seriously. And I know sometimes I'm like, how could you possibly say something like that? Well, let me make the case. So here in America, we're having a population decline because not enough people are having kids, because they push this hypersexualization and this whole delete all your babies. Okay. Can you say kill on the radio? Kill the babies, infants, infanticide and stuff like that, because that's a promotion, not contraceptive.
They're not pushing their responsibility. They're pushing, yes.
Well, but they're not. I can't even get to that part. No. My part is they're not pushing healthy coupling. Exactly. And then they wonder why there are so many mental health issues when you're telling everybody, just have sex with everybody and give yourself away to everybody.
And they call that family planning.
Yeah.
That's what they call family planning.
It's a problem. It's a serious issue. Okay.
Of course it is.
You shouldn't be all lecherous and sleeping about. If you feel judged, that's on you. That's between you and God. Go pray on that. Okay. That's not me judging you. That's me making a very serious statement, both scientific and both spiritual. Okay. You don't even have to be a Christian to understand that they call them soul ties. Mm-hmm. When you have sexual intercourse with somebody, you form soul ties. That is a real thing. Dear. Science has said now that the semen stays in the vagina now for decades. For decades.
Oh, man, I can't unhear that.
And if there are children, those children that you have are not fully the partner that you had the child with. They share traits with other partners that you have. That's science. Science. That's amazing. That is amazing. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel some type of way is how I feel.
But caught me off guard.
But again, this is science, and we don't have these real conversations. That's a serious conversation. And then that starts to make you rethink stuff. And again, I go back to, maybe we should go back to betrothment and assigned marriage. What's that called? There's another word for it too. I don't remember. It's slipping my mind right now. But maybe we need to go back to that, because we need to teach the importance of healthy coupling.
Of course. It's
we need to teach that. And then people aren't having enough children. Well, why aren't they having enough children? Because you told them not to have any kids.
And because they can't afford to right now in society, because they're both working.
Well, no, they can't afford it because they're living by themselves as a single individual, and they don't have any extra support.
But even in the married couples, you're seeing so many less married couples that are having kids now, because again, you are seeing the wife and the husband that are both out, working 10-hour days. Then they come home and they're like, we can't have a kid. We can't even. I mean, there's no way.
Well, they've also made it extremely expensive to have a kid.
That's my point. Yes, that's my point.
Child. Yeah. And now your child's being raised by the school system because they know.
Yeah, they stay after hours, and
they know they take the father out of the household. They take the mother out of the household. That they're going to be like, oh, well, somebody has to take care of the kids.
And this is all intertwined with them trying to eliminate the nuclear family in general. It's a whole big cyclical thing that's been instilled by the left, government, and the government as a whole. I mean, trust me, there's plenty of centrist Republicans that are involved in this too. But the far left has really indoctrinated us into thinking, with the BLM was not about Black Lives Matter.
Nope.
Killing the nuclear family up. It was about things like that. I mean, they wrote it down. It's right in there. It's right in there.
Three hard communist lesbians that hate men.
That live in beautiful $1 million houses.
Hold on now, because don't take that out of context. I'm not saying that lesbians hate men, but I'm saying that they openly have said that they hate men. They hate men. It was on their website that they hated men. They're like, this is a real thing. Like,
they're like, we hate men. They really hate white men.
And they're communists. They were professionally trained Marxists, is what they
say. But they thrived from capitalism. They thrived from capitalism because now
how many swimming pools do you?
They live in the whitest neighborhood in LA. It's
crazy. You look at all of these people these so-called women that are so about these BLM stuff that hate white men so much, but they all seem to get with a white man.
And they live in the whitest neighborhoods of LA. Like I said, the one lady lived in a neighborhood that was literally 98% white, and it's like. You literally were in the streets 2 years ago with a bullhorn, megaphone, yelling stuff. I was like, and now you're living in this neighborhood with a white husband. I'm like, it's and don't get me wrong, I could care less what color, the individuals or whatever race it is that you marry or that you love. Don't care if it's the same sex. I don't care about any of that. This is all just pointing out straight numbers, facts, and the reality of the situation.
I want you to stand on business. You said that was what it was. Now stand on business, okay? Well, why aren't you messing with other men, but you're messing with white men?
Right?
That
Why?
So bad.
Exactly. Why
is it? Well,
it's stand on your principles.
Stand on it because they find them to be easily malleable and manipulated because they find that a lot of them have been
falsified. Because they're from the left and they hate their race hating. They hate their own race. They hate their own gender. Yes, they hate themselves. To them, white men are bad, and they're a white man. So when you hate yourself, give me a break.
Did you see the college professor? I can't remember where it was. It just came out. It was a video of him. He was talking to the kids, and he was like, "Oh, we've got all of these men. This is his class. This is a class. He's in the class saying." And he's like, "Oh, we've got all of these people that don't like all of these men that don't like women, so they don't want a woman to be president, so they're not voting for Kamala." And he said that they should all be lined up and shot.
Wow.
And then he said, edit that part out of the
you might not want to
edit that.
They were like, too late.
It's too late.
Too late. That's not.
It was out there. It's gone.
Too late.
But this is crazy because this is what these people think. This is a serious mental virus that is going on. It's a mental contagion.
It's a mental illness. I'm telling you.
It is, but it's a contagion.
But it's
spreading.
Exactly.
It's spreading, and it needs to be stopped.
And it's pushed via social media. It's pushed via big media. It's
the only way to stop it is to restore the nuclear family.
Yes, correct.
That's what we need to do. So the majority of the situations in our society right now, we talk about crime, we talk about education,
they all come back to that.
We talk about anything. It all comes back to the destruction of the nuclear family.
Yes.
Okay, and who benefits? Right. That's what the question.
Yes, who benefits? When kids go away to college, looking for someone to actually teach them what to think and because they haven't been taught that. Guess who benefits? Guess who benefits? Because the colleges are just indoctrination.
The affluent, the people that are on the top of the pyramid that don't care about you. Because like George Carlin said, he said, it's a club.
Yeah,
you ain't in it.
You ain't in it. Exactly.
Exactly. So we all have and this is a serious.
And nobody listening to the show is in it. Trust me. I don't care how much money you have. You can have a whole bunch in your bank account. You're not an elite. You're not an elite. The elite they're behind the scenes. They're running the show. So
most of them you'd never even know. It's even past the billionaire faces.
Alex Saros actually went on camera and actually showed himself with what's his name, Waltz, for a minute. You see Waltz trying to work the shotgun?
Oh my gosh,
he's like, I'm fencing hunting with the shotgun.
He's like, this is my favorite shotgun.
Right? He didn't even know how to work it. Couldn't. He was like fumbling with it. He had the barrel pointing at his forehead for a second. I was like, oh my god,
he couldn't even load it. It was terrible. What is your favorite shotgun?
It was hilarious. He's like, this is like said the name.
But this is he said it was an A400. It was Beretta.
Beretta. Yeah, he did say Beretta. I was just gonna say Beretta A400. He's like, and all of a sudden he starts fumbling with it. You see ammunition dropping.
They were like, oh, you brought your own gun.
Yeah, right. Dude, come on, man.
Well, but I can't. So it's not just him though, right?
No, of course not.
So I hate when excuse my language. I very much so dislike when all politicians do that. Mm-hmm. That bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm so human.
Don't put on Liz Warren cracking the beer. Remember that Liz Warren? Her husband looked at her like she had 3 heads. She's like, you want a beer, honey? He's like, what the Like you don't do this on a regular basis. Get out of here.
I don't need you to be something that you're not. And I give a good example about somebody who does that doesn't need to do that. Cory Booker.
Oh my God, right?
I've always felt bad for him.
Oh my God, he looks so dumb.
Maybe he could be a decent person if he be himself
and
stop trying to be
This is my Spartacus moment. Remember the Spartacus moment turned out to be a flat dud?
Or what did he say? Because he didn't know the saying. So in Black society, it's you're all up in the Kool-Aid, don't even know the flavor. And he's like, you're all up in the. He couldn't even say.
No, he was like, you're all up in the Hawaiian punch or something.
Yeah, the Hawaiian punch. That's what it was. I was like, no. I was like, bro. I was like, listen, you didn't need to prove to me that you're black. I didn't need that. I didn't need that.
We see you, dude.
You know, I need your policies. Tell me what you're about. You know, and that for me was sad.
And it comes from the left though. You don't see Byron Donalds doing that. You see Byron Donalds is who he is. You don't see Tim Scott doing that. He is who he is. It's just you split Harris with their accent. She goes to a Hispanic community. She's got to throw that accent out there. She goes to the black community and she goes out like Hillary style. She's like me doing a black act. Like she's like, it's insane.
You gotta stop talking about the Hillary stuff and stuff like that. Because I mean, I just see, because I don't want to talk about it, right?
Right.
I don't want to talk about it. But there was this Babylon Bee clip, okay? And they really humanized Kamala for me.
Okay? Yeah.
It said Kamala speaks to a Latino audience and in her introduction says, "Donde está biblioteca?" I said, you know, that humanized her with me. Yeah. I said, that's me. Right? It's not me, but I said, that's me.
Did you see the SNL clip of her?
As a joke. Well, hold on. As a joke, I said, because, you know, that's the joke, right? Like, Americans aren't good at other languages and stuff like that. And that's the basic.
Yeah, we have like that straight up.
Where is the library? Who would even ask that in this day and age? You know what I'm saying? Well,
because every American knows biblioteca. That's why you know that.
My favorite Spanish word is movie. Okay, that's it. But anyway.
Did you see that SNL clip, though?
I did.
Dude, that's the best. They said even SNL, she's cooked. She was like, it's like what's that show called with Steve Harvey? Family Feud. Yeah, it's got her and Donald Trump and Steve Harvey's like, okay, things that will fit in a glove box. And she's like, bang. She's like, let me start by this, Steve.
Was she born in a middle class family?
I was born in a middle class family. And he's like, does that fit? Does that fit? Does that fit in a glove box? She's like, well, let me continue. My sister and I were raised by my mother, who was finally able to buy. And he's like,
so wait, hold on. Like, so you know something I found out the other day, that you know India has a caste system, like they still
they still do, yeah.
So apparently she's from one of the upper classes.
Yeah, no kidding.
The Brahmin class.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So it's not like
her mom is,
so insane. It's not like she's some nobody from nowhere.
Her mom was
they're like elite level type of people.
Yeah, her mom was considered like just under Bill Gates there, you know what I mean?
But as far as social status.
Yes, as far as social status.
This is something that needs to have a conversation, because you try to, well, I'm an every joke. Listen, if you're not, you know, and this is comparative to Trump again.
Yeah.
See, I hate that you try to drag into these conversations.
But who gives it?
So
is the whole thing.
So with the Trump situation, like Trump is a rich billionaire. Mm-hmm. All I ever got from him is he's a rich billionaire. He doesn't try to relate to anybody. He's like, these are my issues. These are my problems. If you agree with me, then you agree with me.
Exactly.
We're together on that issue.
And she puts a commercial out there saying it. She's like, the whole commercial is Trump is rich. And it's like, nobody cares. We all know Trump will tell you he's rich. Trump's going to tell you he's rich.
Right.
And you just wasted $27 billion on a commercial that's telling us Trump is rich.
That's
great. Good job.
That's like Danica Patrick telling you, I'm a woman.
Right.
Really?
Seriously. It's like
you know,
nobody cares. The whole commercial talks about it.
Like we already know that.
And then his commercial, every one of his commercials are just her words against it. It's literally just her that they're saying, you know, oh, I provided sex change for inmates that were, you know, it's her saying her own words.
So I found out that her brother-in-law, stole all this billions of dollars from this fund and redirected the money.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like currently or
no? This is when in California, bro. So everything about her stuff is crazy.
Everything. The more you find out, the worse it gets.
It's crazy, brother. It's crazy. And I know people are like, oh, Kamala Harris. Why? No.
Why?
Like the Democrat Party has so much better people than Kamala Harris.
That's why they gave her Tim Walz too. That's why Wes Moore was like, I'm all set.
He's terrible too.
But that's why I'm saying they gave him purposely because they know she isn't going to win.
I'd have preferred Elizabeth Warren.
Dude, they want to save their big guns for 2028. I'm telling you, I said this from the beginning. They know she's not going to win.
As a side note, let me get real close to the microphone and say, because I got to throw this out there, okay? So the Democrat Party has candidates that could be decent, but what ends up happening is they change their stance, their positioning, and they try to draw more people from everywhere. And to do that, they go more left and left and left and left.
Exactly.
And that's a very, very serious issue. I'm actually seeing that in the Republican Party now. They've got the woke right with all of these people that are slowly bringing in these leftist ideas and conceptions into the Republican Party. I don't want them.
No, and they're yelling at Vance and Trump for this. You need to. And he's just like, I mean, at least, like I said, you might not like Trump, but at least he stands his ground. That's the bottom line.
If you're a Democrat and you decide that you might want to switch parties and come over to the Republican Party because you believe in America, you believe in actual traditional and conservative values,
and common sense,
you are more than welcome. Okay. But if you bring in your leftist
don't bring that over here.
Nonsense over here. Absolutely
it's not. Like when you leave one of those states, don't leave California and go to Texas and bring that same freaking
I will not let what happened to the Democrat Party with the leftists and with the communists happen in the Republican Party. No way.
Yeah, go look at what Bill Clinton stood for, his, and then look at what the Democrat Party stands for now.
Bill Clinton the other day? So Bill Clinton, you guys, if you guys don't know or don't remember, Bill Clinton was very strong on the border security.
Yes, small era of big government was over. He told you. He said
he was. I want to say it was Athens, Georgia, the other day. It was somewhere in Georgia, and he was doing a rally or whatever, a speech, and he was talking to the news and stuff like that. And some of the people was one of those small group sessions, and he was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Well," he brought up the girl. What's her name? The one that
Monica Lewinsky. Oh no! Oh
the
yeah.
one that got killed. Laken Riley.
Laken Riley. Yep.
Yeah, and he was like, there was a immigrant. First of all, illegal alien, but that's I'm gonna let him rock with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said there was an immigrant that killed that young lady, and if he would have been vetted, that wouldn't have never happened. Well, it's Bill Clinton.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Just right now.
It's common sense he gets, and Bill Clinton throw it out.
But first of all, I don't even know how they got him campaigning with her. Mr. I sleep with everybody and their mama. Okay. Probably legitimately. Yeah. My man was a playboy.
Oh, he was a playboy. He was the man. He was the man back in the day.
Oh,
he was like,
and he played the saxophone, man.
Yeah, him and Hillary sleep in separate beds, for sure.
I don't know what's going on there. I can't tell you. I can't call it.
But no, he, I feel like Bill Clinton, I feel like Joe Biden, none of them really even, none of them, they're not behind her. They're not behind Harris. And you can see it, especially with Biden right now. And I believe that stems a lot from Jill Biden. I think Jill Biden can't stand Kamala Harris. I think she has a lot of animosity towards her. And I think she's funneled that to Joe and said, this, you should be there, Joe. If the media would have put in the amount of time and effort they put into rising her up from the lowest possible denominator, she had the lowest, possible rating as a VP in history. And if they would have put that much time into you, Joe, you could have won this election. You could have made this close. And Joe's like, you know what?
So
you're probably right.
I'm gonna throw some shots at Amy Klobuchar, and I hope somebody shares this with her. Like, I used to think that she was halfway decent.
Nah, I've never had. I
used to think she was halfway decent, but she changed. She changed a lot. Like, she went crazy. She done lost her rabbit mind.
But what'd she say now?
But it's not just, I'm just talking in general over the years watching her.
Oh yeah, she's lost her mind.
Since when did she run?
Since 2020.
Last time.
Since 2020, yeah.
When she ran in 2020, like after, what was she senator? No.
Yeah,
senator, right?
Yep.
Because I watched the committee meetings and stuff like that, and the floor and stuff like that.
Remember she went after Kavanaugh and stuff?
Yeah, and I used to think that she was like, okay, she's all right. She's not all the way out there in Luke.
Yeah, she wasn't super hard left until she got onto that floor.
Right. So then she tried to make now she's all super left and all of this and all of that. And I just asked, who is that benefiting?
Right. Who does it benefit? It benefits no one.
Nobody. Like, it's your own self-righteousness that it benefits. Like, who does it help? Because it's not helping society.
It's those that sit on a pedestal surrounded by fences that can criticize those things. And it's those who don't have to worry about their family getting killed by an illegal immigrant, who can say, we need the compassionate, we need to let them in and silence.
Listen.
It's those who have the safety.
Listen. First of all, hit like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching us online, hit the like button like 20 million times. Okay. Bow, bow, bow. Okay. But also hit subscribe and make sure that you share this video. Take 2 seconds, share this video wherever you're watching, hit share. Okay. Now check this out. Okay. The other day, I don't know if you guys know her. She's the lady from the Young Turks. Like the Young Turks people are like way far left. They're way far left. Like I don't even know exactly what to call them. Like because they're not like Marxist. They're like fascists when it comes to the stuff that they do. Like they're very like something different. They're their own little thing. Like they're fascist Marxists. Like that's a thing. So maybe that's what they fall under. But however you try to categorize them, they'd be considered far left. So I seen the lady the other day. I can't remember her name. Something. I don't know if she's Armenian or like Russian or wherever she's from. She got some weird name. Anyway, but the point is I saw her talk about how she left the Democrat Party. I said, what? I said, you left the Democrat Party? She said, because the Democrat Party doesn't. She didn't say that she went to the Republican Party, but she left the Democrat Party. So I'm like, what? I was like, this far left? You know, no. The girl from the Young Turks. The
yes, right. Yeah, she didn't say she went Republican, but she left. Yep.
Yeah, and she said the reason why. I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not sorry. But the thing is I'm laughing because it's like, but you did that to yourself.
The cute one?
You talk about that. I don't know if she's cute or not.
I think she is.
I don't like women that yell all the time. Okay, that's the problem.
Well, I just turned on the volume.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Anyway, plus I don't think that she's like. I think she's loopy.
Yeah, so she's a little loopy.
She's got a lot of turnoffs there. So I don't know if she is attractive. Personality is very important.
Yeah, of course.
So ladies, if you're not the most attractive, remember that having a good personality helps a lot. Okay. So, but anyway,
it does.
Anyway,
it does.
I'm gonna try to say something that don't get myself in trouble here on the radio. Somebody like, listen to what he said, because I'd stand by it too. I'd stand by it. I was gonna say something.
I was gonna say something, but I didn't.
Because there's one thing that you can't be both. But anyway, but here's the deal. So she said that what happened, Anna something. Anna.
It's a Greek name.
Is that Greek?
Yeah,
is that where it is?
It's a Greek name.
Oh, I thought it was Russian or something. No.
It's a Greek name.
Okay, anyway, Anna, whatever her name is, okay? So she said that what happened was that she was outside walking her dog in California, okay? Now, we all know that is a far-left Democrat cesspool. No offense to the leftists or the Democrats, but that's the truth of the nature of the thing.
It's a true cesspool.
Okay, so she said that she was out walking her dog, and then she was accosted by a homeless man with an erection that started humping her leg.
Is that legal?
Well, yes, right? Because you can just walk around naked in front of kids and stuff. Remember that?
I dropped line.
That's what is a problem. But anyway,
can't bring kids.
Anyways,
I stopped laughing.
I don't want to laugh because it's not funny.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny.
This is the stuff that we've been speaking up against, and we've been trying to tell these people is going on and is a problem.
And they're like, no, it doesn't happen.
They don't seem to know it until it happens. So, and she was like, and I'm a pretty all right woman, and I can defend myself. But it was like the two guys that when one of the guys was doing that, and he had an erection, and he was like humping on my leg and stuff like that. And as she's telling the story, like I'm trying not to fall out of my chair.
Right.
I'm like, this is what you did. Like this is what you advocated
you
on
built
your
it.
show.
You built this
on
house.
Your
now
show.
you're
on
living
your
it.
show. Not like one of the people that doesn't vote. I don't vote, so it doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, all y'all need to vote. Anyway, but she's not one of them people that doesn't vote. She has a whole show that's based on politics. That's what they do all the time. So, and they talk about, they want all those.
And it's progressive.
Policies.
Yes, it's progressive.
Far
progressive.
left.
Yes.
So she was like, and that happened, and I could defend myself, but I didn't know what to do in that point. I didn't know what to do. And then after it, he just walked away, and him and the other guy were just laughing. Oh my God. And I felt so full of shame and stuff like that. And I'm like, see, that's what the policies that you advocate for get. And she said, this is what she said. This is the craziest part. She said, and then I shared that story on my show. She said, and I got so much hate and vitriol from people
For defending them. Defending them.
Yes. Messaging me.
Like, why are they homeless? They don't
saying you're making the unhoused community look bad. You're racist. You're racist for saying that. And she's like, and I didn't say what race they were, but they were white.
Right.
And
and she's like, it doesn't. You're the homeless. We can take the homeless part out. The race part.
And I don't mean to laugh, but I mean to point this out because
this is what
happens. It's cannibalism.
And then until it happens to you, if you're progressive, until it happens to you, you defend the nature of the crime itself, and so show sympathy for the example, drug addicts. It's really simple. It's like, we're going to give them more and more tools to do their drugs. We're going to give them access to needles. We're going to give them this until your kid dies of an overdose.
Stay hydrated. So I was at a thing with the candidates meet and greet the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the candidates meet and greet, I was talking to somebody. It's definitely a leftist. Okay, more to
girl or guy?
Yeah, girl.
Right.
So anyway, I was talking to them.
I'm just trying to figure out.
And they won't know. Maybe, but probably not. Most likely. Anyway, I was talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, well, they're my district, whatever." And I was talking to them. They asked me about the, I guess you want to call them criminal justice reforms. I don't want to call them that.
Whatever.
It's not good justice, but it doesn't matter. But they were talking about that. And I was like, yeah, because it's an issue, and a lot of these people need to be held because they're released. They got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 25. Okay,
yeah, no kidding.
Arrests on these things, and they keep letting them go. So that's a very serious problem. And she was like, "Oh well, they're just stealing because they need to." I said, "What?
What do they need?
What?" I said, "What?" And I explained to her, I'm like, "Listen, this isn't the 80s. They're not taking these cars to chop shops to get the cars chopped up and then to sell them off."
No, they're literally crashing into poles and leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
Until somebody gets killed, and then,
and she was so adamant on that point and not giving anything. And I said, "Has your car been stolen?"
No.
She was like, "No," or whatever the case is. And I'm like, "You don't even know what the hell is going on, what the heaven is going on to make statements like that."
Right.
And anybody that says that, bro, like, I got serious issues with that.
Like Sandy Cortez always saying that stuff.
That's what's going on, because you don't talk to these people. If you go out and you talk to them and ask them why they're doing it, they'll tell you, just cause.
Because we can. We don't see a future. They'll tell you, like I told you the story about my brother talking to the kid who was trying to steal my nephew's car. The cops caught him. And my brother's like, "Can I talk to him for a minute?" He pulls him over. He says, the kid's 14. He goes, "You're going to be dead in 2 years." And the kid looked at my brother, dead eye, and was like, I know. That's all. I mean, that's all he said. My brother's like, "What can I say?" His mom's defending him to the police, bashing, yelling at the police like they're the bad guys.
No, like the kid that shot himself and died.
Yes.
So
they said somebody shot him.
They were in the stolen car.
Yep.
They were in the stolen car. He was getting out of the stolen car. He had an illegal firearm, and the gun fell, and it went off, and it shot him, and he died.
Yeah.
And he was such a good kid.
Yes, such a good kid.
And then this whole story came out later.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And that's not for me to slam on anybody, but that's to point out the fact that you're saying you're running cover.
Yeah.
You're running cover for these criminals that are very serious people, and until it touches you yourself, you want to act like it's not real.
Like there's no
and everybody else's experiences are not what they experience. Like the people that have their cars stolen, they're not affected at work or with their child care. That people aren't losing jobs because they can't go to work or can't get their car fixed because they don't got the money to get their car fixed.
Or the trauma they get from the gun pointed to their head when they've been carjacked.
The carjacking? Oh, man, don't even get me started on that. Oh, man. Like they beat up the old ladies on the bus stop, and they
at Greaser's Mall, they beat up that old lady. I mean, take the car. So
they beat up this old man, bro, for some pocket change. He had a walker. This happened over the winter. Okay, last year over the winter. You can find the story. They beat him up and stole his money. My man didn't have nothing but a couple of change for the bus, bro.
Wow.
He was at the bus stop waiting in a walker, bro. The guy was like 80 something, bro.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This is what's going on. And they're doing it. No, they're doing it because they can. And if you ask them, stop for a second and ask them.
Right.
Ain't nobody out stealing because they need to. They ain't boosters. Okay. Now, if you guys are listening and you don't know what a booster is, everybody loves the boosters. The boosters traditionally are people who steal from stores, different items and stuff like that to try to sell them as a side type of a business, as a side hustle. This is not what these people are doing.
No, they're not.
This is not the same even at all, even a little bit. and this is a very serious
It's
problem.
coming from a lack of straight discipline, a lack of the way they're raised, and it's literally a game. Instead of playing baseball, they're stealing stuff.
Well, but you see them out there driving cars that they sold all extra crazy,
and then they're hitting your car. Yeah, I mean,
or they roll over and kill the kid like they did over by what's that Franklin?
Yeah.
And then the parents are like, "Oh, I want justice. I want justice."
Justice
happened. Like, "Oh, well,
like,
he was a good kid. He didn't know there was a stolen car."
Yeah. Okay.
What?
How did he get it?
What? Like, I mean, maybe I give your son more credit than you give him, because I think that his cognitive abilities are much higher level.
He knew that those other 14-year-olds he's with, that wasn't their car. I'm throwing that out there. But
and then you're in the car and you're driving all crazy and you're hanging,
and the steering column's ripped apart.
You're hanging out the window, bro. Though,
right?
But that's what happened, because he was hanging out the window,
and it rolls over right out
the window.
And rolled over on him.
But they want justice. I want justice too. I want all of them locked up.
Sure.
And somebody will say, "Oh, well, why would you say something like that?" Because they are criminals and they're destroying the lives and the fabric of our society. And if you haven't had your car stolen, your business robbed, or something, or been assaulted or accosted yourself, or had one of your children or close friends accosted, and you don't know what it is. And honestly, the same way the same people that say that stuff say the same thing about men shouldn't have a voice on women's issues. Maybe you shouldn't have a voice on criminal issues.
Yeah, well, the kid on Laser Street, 15 years old, steals a car at 12 o'clock at night. Then
I don't mean that. I'm just saying comparatively that nonsense.
Then the kid has a bullet in his head, and people are like, and the family's like, "What? Somebody shot my son in the head." No, your kid stole a car, and therefore he got shot in the head. Now the whole neighborhood was like, "We don't know who shot him," but guess what?
So I heard that guy that stole the car the other day, they had this article. If you guys aren't in Rochester right now, first of all, hit like, share, and subscribe real quick. I want to see those like buttons light up. Hit all them buttons. Hit the hearts. Hit the thumbs. Hit that. Okay. And then if you're not following us online, but you're looking at us online, hit the follow or subscribe. And I want you to definitely share, because shares help out of this world. Hit that share button. Now, there was this story here in Rochester, New York. This kid, right? It's crazy. So let me start here. So there were three grown men. Apparently, this kid had been. This was Greece? Greece. The kid had was being held in a car, tied up.
Oh yeah, what's up with that? I heard of it.
I heard that he was one of the car thieves and was trying to steal their car, and that was what they had done to him.
They were like, "Here you go."
Yeah, and I don't know that. Well, one, that's not right. Let me be very clear.
B.
Okay.
Two,
however,
he might not do it again now.
He might not do it again. Okay. And three. The only reason why I wouldn't put somebody's head on a pike is because I don't want that time in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly why.
Well, there's this meme online, you guys. I don't know if you guys seen it. They're like, "Well, what keeps you from doing what you really want to do?"
Jail.
And the guy is like, "Prison, prison."
It's true.
But it's because those are only there for people that are concerned about going. For all of these other people, they don't care, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like life is a game. It's short. They don't care. They don't have any faith or religion. They don't believe that there's anything after this, and they can't see anything past their basic everyday. Yep. So that's why they do it, because they can. Because it's an adrenaline rush. It's a thrill. They don't care about who they inconvenience. They don't care about what difference it makes.
No,
and there used to be the saying that don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Well, let me tell you that there is no more time.
Yeah. Okay. So why not do the crime, right?
So why not do the crime? And then on top of that, you used to have it say, "Oh, well, you should discipline your children at home, or the world will discipline them for you."
Now
neither will happen.
Neither's happening.
But so them people, they try to discipline that boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, if they found somebody in a basement after a couple of weeks after they had tried to steal somebody's stuff, I mean, I'd be like, well, they shouldn't have done that, and that's illegal.
Yeah.
However, I don't agree, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't understand.
The point is that when somebody comes and takes your stuff that you worked for, you worked hard for that.
Bro,
like you come into my house, take your stuff. If I catch you, it's going to be a bad day for you. I promise, because that's my stuff. You know what I mean? That's stuff I worked for.
Listen, if it's a situation with me, it's going to be like the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
They only have a good day when you have a bad day.
Yeah.
So there's this. So I like Wu-Tang Clan, y'all. Wu-Tang. Okay. So, but I don't like some of their new political issues that they've been getting into lately and stuff like that. But there's this one Red Man thing, okay? and he's got this skit on his album. I'm trying to remember which album it was, but I don't, maybe it was Muddy Waters. I don't remember. But he's got this guy, and it's like some white guy, you know, that is like supposed to be like this. I guess the guy is supposed to be like out of place in this urban area or whatever, and he's supposed to be dressed up. And then the guys come to try to jack him, right? And they're like, yo, give us all your stuff. Da, 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 da. He's like, oh man, I'm not having a good day. He's like, oh man, da 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 da. And he was like, well, guess what? I'm not having a very good day today, and neither are you. And he pulls out a gun and just unloads on all of them. And he's like, take that, motherfuckers.
Oh, you
know, I said suckers.
Okay, good.
I didn't know. I don't curse. I don't curse.
I know you. I thought those were.
I said suckers.
We're good.
Yeah, no.
We're good. I don't see him storming in here, so we're good.
Yeah, no. So anyway, but no, the point is that
I mean
that's
there's consequences to your action. And if the law is not going to do it, if justice system isn't going to provide those consequences, if you're not getting those at home, guess what? There's only a third option.
If you know what album that was on of Redman, please drop that in the comments. Okay, that was a good album. But anyway, this is the problem right now because they have destroyed the sense of what manhood is supposed to be, what womanhood is supposed to be, and they've destroyed the family so that there isn't that structure there. They've taken religion out of all the schools and prayer out of all the schools. I want to say that happened in 1963. Okay, I want to say that was when it happened. I can't say 100% for sure. If you guys know the court case and stuff where that happened, the crazy lady that was advocating for that, please drop that in the comments, okay? To share and let other people know. So, but when we saw that get removed and the family getting broken up, it's crazy how all that seems to happen all around the same time.
Right?
It makes you wonder, is it all has something to do with everything else?
It's insane. Of course it's related. It's crazy to think it's not.
Yeah. So what's the situation there is this. When they did that, society started to erode. Okay? It really, really did.
And generational. It just kept going.
Oh, it's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse, you know? If we have another generation, we can't even have another generation.
No, you can't.
We can't. Well, but people aren't even having kids.
Yes, so they're not going to be another generation. Well, there will be. It's just going to be all from the southern border.
I don't want that.
That's what that's what it's headed to.
Just send them back.
It's just you got to send them back.
There's no other way
to do it. I mean,
there's a joke. There's a joke. This English guy, because he's a comedian. They got all of the immigrants and stuff over there, whatever the case is, and he was like, you know what? We need to close the borders, and the only way that you can get in is you can't be a Minga. I said that was hilarious. So if you guys don't know what a Minga is, it's an ugly person. So you can't.
So good-looking people.
You can't. Good-looking people.
That's like that's all I got in my house. Front door. It says it right on my front door.
So and I mean, it's funny, but there is some real there, right? Like we're letting in people that aren't skilled.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
They don't speak the language.
There's no process.
So where are they going to get jobs at? And then people are like, oh, well, we need them to work in the fields. You need them to what?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
What?
Get out of here.
Like, listen to how you sound. You want to subjugate them and put them in a job that you wouldn't want in a million years.
It's just
because you think that they're less than them because you're superior to them.
Exactly. Why don't you go
how you sound?
Yeah, it's insane.
And the fact that they said that
they said that too. They said that right on camera. They said that.
They said
Jerry Nadler said that.
Jerry Nadler. Yes. Oh man, I did a whole episode. I did a whole thing. I think that was a Let's Talk with Marcus. On my YouTube.
Jerry Nadler said they got to be Williams channel. They got to pick our crops. I was like, what? Jerry looks like a basketball as it is. He's built like the penguin.
It's crazy. He does.
He looks like the penguin.
He looks exactly like the penguin.
Jerry Nadler has the worst genetics I've ever seen in my life.
Has nothing on him.
No, I'd love to know what nationality Nadler is.
So, penguin?
Yeah, because I mean, those genetics are awful.
Anyway, so but the fact of the matter is this, right? They say this all the time that they're going to pick our crops, but we've let millions and millions of people in. There aren't remotely that many agricultural
there aren't that many crop-taking jobs.
There aren't.
No, there isn't. There isn't. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come into our cities.
Well, but you look at it. The majority of them are military-aged men.
Yeah. Oh, they're all military. 76% of them.
So
that came in last month were military.
So where are they going to work that type of a job?
They're going to go into the cities, and they're going to take it.
Let me point this out to you. Like, you guys think so little of other countries. You think so little of them. Let me be very clear. Those people are like, in my generation, and maybe what is it? Is it Gen Alpha now? Is it the current generation coming up? Like I don't even know. So
I was wondering.
I don't even know how the numbers work anymore.
Gen Zeta, Eta,
right?
Zeta, Iota.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think we're
goes back to Alpha.
I don't know. I think we're Gen Z.
Oh,
no, wait, no.
Well, wait, how old?
Because last one was millennials, and then it's
Gen X and Gen Z.
I'm Gen X. Did we do Gen Y?
Gen Y. That's millennials. Gen Y. No, Gen Y is millennials.
Well, then what?
They just call them millennials. I'm Gen Z.
Right?
No, I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X.
Gen Z. So Gen Z.
Gen Z is the current lower one.
Gen
They're the
Z.
ones that
No, it's Alpha. Gen Alpha. So Gen Alpha is getting ready to get out of high school now.
Yeah, that's
which is crazy. It's crazy. I didn't even know how that even works. So anyway, so if you're like Gen Z, okay, or maybe you're a millennial. Like these are the age range of the people that are coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly what's coming in.
Now I need you to understand, like even if you're talking about like a less affluent nation, like somewhere in South America, okay, they got it like it's the 90s in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, they got it like the 90s in the United States. You ain't getting nobody from none of them countries to go out and work in the field.
Do you see the way they're dressed when they come in?
Bro, you ain't getting nobody in Gen Z or that's a millennial to go work in a mine or to work in the field. You're gonna tell them they're gonna have to work hard. They're gonna have to get. They're gonna get no cell phone reception, and they're gonna get dirty.
They said, where are my government papers so I can get some free money?
Ain't gonna happen.
No, exactly.
It ain't gonna happen, and that's a real deal. But we need to be having those type of conversations because then we can't put the people in the places that we need to take the actions that we need. You know what we need? High skilled laborers that won't go out of what do you call it? Out of I don't know. I don't want to say out of business. It's not out of business, but out of need.
Yes, exactly.
That won't go out of need in the next couple of decades because what's happening right now is that with AI, I just got a form today. Somebody sent me as a candidate because I'm a candidate running for state assembly in the 137th New York State Assembly District in Rochester, New York, and covering the whole town of Gates. Shameless plug. Check out my website, www.marcus4rochester.com. That's Marcus4rochester.com. Donate, volunteer, and definitely share and help me get the word out there. But they sent me a questionnaire, right? It's from these sciencey people. And they were like, well, they say that AI is going to take 320,000 jobs in New York State by 2030. I didn't respond yet, but it's way more than that. It's way more than that it's going to take. So these people, for most of these jobs, go to McDonald's, go to Denny's. Right. They got the robots in Denny's and stuff like that. We have
this girl and I went to the Apple movie theater in Pittsburgh Plaza Saturday, right? I had to buy the tickets from my phone. We walk in, there's like 3 people working, standing there, and they're just standing there. They're like, oh, you just got to scan in right there. I had to scan into a computer. Then check this out. We get to our seats, and we're like, where's the popcorn stuff? They're like, oh, you got to order that. We get to our seats. There's a QR code on the seat. I have to take my phone. I have to scan the QR code. Then I go from a list of things. What do I want? I wanted a slush puppy, just like I had today, and popcorn. So we ordered popcorn, slush puppy. It was $30 for it, but that's not the point. The point is they bring it to you now. They walk it over because everything's automated except for the person that walked it to me. Everything else is automated.
Did you see the Tesla We Robot?
Oh God,
their new thing. So they just had like I don't know what expo, right? With their new robotic taxi and their new Tesla van. Like I'm not as stock advice, but as stock advice, don't take any stock advice. But as stock advice that I'm not giving you. Watching what Tesla is doing, if you hold stocks a long time, I'm just saying that might be something.
You might be fine.
I'm trying to tell you.
Might be good.
I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so listen, with their new van that can sit up to 20 people.
What?
Okay, it can drive itself and all of that. Listen, that's all the shuttles is out of business.
Exactly, all of it is gone. Gone. Those electric buses,
gone. Electric buses is gone. Most of the buses that we have here, even when they're full, they don't got like 20 people on it.
Dude, I see one person on it.
So you can put those on there on the road there for however much money they are. I bet you they cost less than our buses.
I wonder if they could make like AI, like electronic girlfriends.
So, but they have that.
Do they?
Hold on, let me finish this part first, and maybe if we get the last 5 seconds, we can talk about that. So I put a post on my Twitter about that the other day. They had this one where it was where it has it on your phone or on your tablet, and you can talk to it or whatever. Yeah. And then you can transfer the information into this like sex bot. It's crazy. God. It's crazy. And this was like some other company I've never heard of. Like years ago, I heard of this one company, Real Doll. So I wonder how far,
I
wonder how far their stuff is that they've made now.
Well,
because if
it's sitting in my closet now.
Stop. But anyway, back to the Tesla thing. So they had the new Tesla robots, okay, the Optimuses. So they've been working on these robots, bro. If you guys are watching this and you haven't seen the Tesla robot Optimus, go look it up and look at the new information.
Like Terminator?
So no, it's like iRobot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's and that's why they called it We Robot.
Yeah, We Robot.
Was their expo. I get it. So which is even more concerning because we is an identity type of situation.
They them.
That's the concerning thing.
They them.
That is, I don't want them to identify as a group. I don't want that. I don't want that. You know. So, but this is a situation, and those robots, and they're like, yes, you can use them for everyday tasks. You can use them to fold the clothes, or do this, or do that, or watch your kids.
No. Yeah, that's getting creepy now.
But no.
The government.
So iRobot, the book iRobot is a iRobot is a, what do you call that? When a whole bunch of books, anthology.
Yes.
Okay, a whole bunch of books in one little thing. There's this one robot called Robbie, which is a child caregiver. It's a robot. Go read the book. Go if you guys haven't read Isaac Asimov, iRobot, please read that. Okay. Also, if you're watching right now, hit like, share, and subscribe. Definitely hit share, okay, and let people know that we're having real conversations out here. But to tie that up with a little bow, you got to make sure that you understand that these robots, forget the AI. AI is coming for everybody's jobs, but the physical robots are going to be able to do almost every single thing that a human can do
put them in boxing
by 2035. Okay, by 2030, bro, they will not need you. So what's going to happen with all these illegal aliens? What's going to happen? And then if you go look at some of the robots in Japan and the way that Japan do stuff, you know, people make jokes. Oh, Japan's living in 2050 already. Yeah. Go look at they got whole hotels staffed by just robots. Whole hotels. Wow. Like it's crazy. Like, so you guys really need to wake up to what's going on. This erosion of the family, this change of what's going on with the economic system, this movement to where people won't need to work and won't be needed to work is going to force us to a basic income, and that is going to make us even more dependent on the government. So that is not what we want at all. But as we get up at the tail end of the show here, I want to make sure that you guys remember every Monday from 2:30 to 4 p.m. tune in on WRFZ 106.3 Rochester Radio to the Divide. Okay, you got us here. Guys. We appreciate you very much, and remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. Be blessed and be well. We'll catch you later.
Oh, made it. That's what made it.
And we're out. All right, you guys, share, like, subscribe. I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. I got lots more content coming for you soon. Make sure you share and subscribe. You guys be blessed and be well.
Sure. As always.